As in most forest ecosystems, the creatures that had evolved on Dxun were masters of their environment. More than a few had quite likely developed the ability to camouflage themselves, blending not only into the branches and trees, but into the ever-present hum of the dark side that hung over the forest as well. Even with his caution, Bane was almost caught unawares when the attack came. An enormous feline creature dropped down from above, silent save for the faint hiss of its forepaws slashing the air where its prey's throat had been a mere second before. Bane had sensed the beast at the last possible instant, his force awareness giving him a precognitive warning that allowed him to duck clear of the lethal claws. Even so, the massive body of the beast slammed into Bane, sending him reeling. The Dark Lord of the Sith would have died right there, had the creature not been momentarily stunned by the unexpected failure of its ambush. The beast's confusion gave Bane the second he needed to roll clear of his enemy and fall into a fighting stance. With the beast no longer concealed by Dxun's forest, Bane got his first good look at the thing that had nearly killed him. It studied him with luminous green eyes that were definitely feline, though its fur was a metallic gray coat flecked with tiny bronze plates that shimmered as the muscles moved beneath the skin. It stood 1.5 meters at the shoulder, easily weighing 300 kilograms. It had 4 thick muscular legs that ended in razor-sharp retractable claws. But the feature that drew Bane's immediate attention was the serpentine twin tails, each tipped with a deadly barb that dripped glowing green venom. Bane retreated slowly until his back came up against the gnarled trunk of a tall tree. The nameless monstrosity advanced. Then, with a low growl that made Bane's skin crawl, it leapt at him again, twin tails whipping wildly. Bane lunged to the side, wanting to gauge his opponent's tactics before he engaged it in direct combat. He saw the front claws slashing and flailing through the suddenly empty air, and he watched as the twin tails arced up over the beast's back to stab at the space he'd been standing in a moment before. The barb slammed into the tree Bane had been backed up against with enough force to split the trunk, injecting their corrosive venom into the wood and leaving 2 smoking black circles. The creature landed on all 4 feet simultaneously and spun to face Bane again before he had a chance to strike at its unprotected flank. Once more, it began a slow advance, but this time, when it pounced, Bane was ready. The beast acted on instinct. It was a mindless brute that relied on strength and speed to defeat its enemies. Its methods of attack had evolved over countless generations until they were second nature. And it was inevitable it would use the exact same sequence of movements to bring Bane down a second time. It came in high, leading with its claws just as he'd expected. The natural reaction of most prey would be to retreat from those claws by leaping backward, only to be impaled by the deadly barbed tails lashing forward. Bane, however, ducked down under the claws and then stepped up to meet the creature's attack. His lightsaber held high above his head. The blade sliced through the beast's underbelly, carving flesh and sinew and bone. Bane twisted the blade as it ran the length of the creature, redirecting it into a slightly diagonal stroke sure to cleave several vital organs. The move was simple, quick, and deadly. The feline's momentum carried it over Bane's head, and it crashed to the ground behind him. Its body split open from mid-chest all the way to its still twitching tails. The body shuddered once. The tails went motionless, and a milky film spread out to dull its luminous eyes. Bane's heart was pounding from the thrill of combat. He stepped away from the corpse of his defeated foe, adrenaline still pumping through his veins. With a triumphant laugh, he threw his head back and shouted, "Is that all you've got, Cordis? Is that the best you can do?" He looked around, half hoping to see the ghostly image of his former master materialize. But it wasn't Cordis who appeared to him this time. "You again," Bane said to the spectral image of Lord Khan. "What do you want?" Khan, as usual, didn't speak. Instead, the figure turned and walked away into the depths of the forest, its incorporeal form passing effortlessly through the branches and undergrowth. It took Bane a second to realize it was headed in the direction of Nadd's tomb.